everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today we're looking at Farming Simulator 25, and yeah, just gonna be going through everything we know about it. Now, I know the game is less than a month away, which is absolutely crazy, but just coming out of here right now, I still have a lot of stuff I want to do in FS22 before we get started, so it'll probably be a little bit of time till we get into FS25. I'll probably do a first look video around when it comes out, but most likely, official series on this game will come probably January, February of 2025. That's kind of where FS22 was as well, because I had a lot of stuff I wanted to finish up in FS19. But anyways, here it is. It's coming. We'll flood the fields with fresh water to grow rice, unleash new machines, and create more depth in more ways than one. While you may have many questions, how about we give you the answer first? FS25 when? November 12th. So yeah, I haven't actually pre-ordered it yet, because I really haven't had the money. So, but yeah, they have released the cinematic trailer. I'll put all the videos in little links in the description and cards. They've released a lot of promotional videos. And yeah, here we have the collector's edition, which is pretty cool. Obviously it has the game with the MacDon pack. You also, just like when FS22 came out, they had a beacon light. This version has a USB ignition lock, which is pretty cool. Got some posters, a gold edition New Holland, stickers, a keychain, modding tutorials, and a retro edition and soundtrack. And obviously it all comes in a very nice box. So yeah, I feel like I probably missed the window for this. But yeah, it seems like we have the year one bundle out now, so you can buy the year one bundle, which I will definitely do when the game comes out. And it seems like we got innovative machinery, performance on plains and prairies, stars align, and new map. So seems really interesting. This stars align one seems really interesting. We have like wheels and mud, so could this be hinting at like SnowRunner levels of ground deformation? Because that's what people want. People want that sort of thing. So I'm wondering if third quarter is going to be like SnowRunner levels of get your tractor stuck. We'll have to see. And yeah, here's the MacDon pack, which hopefully I'll still pre-order it. I just don't think I'll be able to get the collector's edition, because I think that's probably, I'm not sure though. Maybe it's still there. Anyway, farm in Asia. Now we do know a bit more about this now. We got buffaloes and stuff. So yeah, I want to embark on a new farming challenge in a lush East Asian landscape filled with rice paddies? Do it. And then of course they also have their American map as well. But yeah, growing rice by flooding the fields with water. This is something that's pretty cool. Since this came out like several months ago, they've gone into a lot more detail. So we'll just kind of go through here, but this is kind of your rough overview. We got more machines, obviously, 400 authentic machines, 150 brands. Obviously, of course, we have the DLC from the previous game, so we'll have Kabuta as base game and everything else like that. It's also using Giants Engine 10, so really great visuals. And I'm pretty sure it involves a bit of ray tracing as well. It's got something similar to ray tracing, at least. So let's hop into the next thing with this. Alright, so this is the US map. This is Riverbend Springs. Alrighty. And interesting how that first page was on dark mode. This is on light mode. Interesting. Anyways. So are you ready to build a new farm in Riverbend Springs? Not yet. I still got Calmsden and Zielonka to finish up, but yes, I definitely am. So after we first presented this new map Farming Simulator 25 at FarmCon, here's another preview. Remember, Farming Simulator 25 released November 12th, and you can pre-order to get MacDon pack, or go for the fancy collector's edition. Maybe the collector's edition is just more money, and it's not like a limited run. I think for FS22 it was a limited run. And yeah, they're selling the beacon light separately. Okay, so celebrating water. You don't have to ask where the name comes from when you look at the map of Riverbend Springs. A huge, winding river, lots of water, and many little creeks and streams in between. A ferry, too. If you're wondering how to cross the river. Again, periods are, there for a reason. Yeah, you can cross the river with a ferry fit for your machine. That's pretty cool. It's all about water, and we wanted to celebrate that. That's why you'll find piers, jetties, houseboats, restaurants floating on the river, and many more elements in Riverbend Springs to go along with the theme of the map. A perfect fit for adding rice and water physics, right? Yeah, it's pretty cool. Cool boats. Here, can we just go through these? Yeah. There we go. Look at that. Look at that rice field there. Big old barge. And then that's the ferry. He also got a little boat. I love the cute little boat. Hold on. Look at the cute little boat. Look at the cute little boat. Oh, it's adorable. See, here's another view with a tug pushing one of the barges. It would be interesting if, like, similar to the train, we had boats. So that way you could load up the boat, and then the boat would be, like, similar to the train. That could be kind of interesting. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know if they've mentioned that yet. And then, obviously, we have two types of creeks. One that's more white water, one that's a bit more, not necessarily stagnant, but it's you know, it's calmer. But yeah, in Riverbend Springs, you'll come across some historic buildings and other elements of times gone by. The old grain elevator, a paper mill at the river, or brick buildings, how they were built 100 years ago, for example. Oh yeah, so here we go, got some old buildings. Oh yeah, look at that. Got multiple layers. Look at that cool wagon up there. Very cool. Got a water wheel on that one. That just screams like Industrial Revolution. And I'm all here for it. You guys know how much I love this kind of stuff. Looks a little worn down. A little tired there. But yeah, that's a grain elevator right next to the railroad tracks. Places to visit. There are many nice spots in Riverbend Springs you might want to visit. Who knows what or who you'll get to see when exploring. There are construction sites, businesses, buying your goods, and more. If you're one to enjoy forest and nature, you might want to walk through the woods. That's kind of cool. Sunflower Farm. So is that the farm we own? Maybe. And again, this is where I was saying, like, maybe they got ray tracing, because look at these god rays coming through the trees. Right, there must be a little bit of ray tracing going on. Very cool stuff. We got, oh, it looks like a part of a boat. It's like a, this just like a structure, or I thought these were like masts of a ship, and like the, you know, there's a another big old grain elevator, bunch of train tracks. We got a school bus as one of the pieces, as one of the traffic, so a bit more variety in the traffic. Something point ropes, showing you the ropes since 1998. So it looks like that's maybe a new production chain. They have ropes. It's kind of cool. Cement as well. So it's like a full-on mining, construction, and economy map from, like, the days long past. I remember seeing videos on those. I never got around to playing on one. But yeah, it's like we got cement, we got ropes. What's this? Oh, this seems like a dairy place. Or the animal dealer. Probably the animal dealer. I see a sheep in a thing. Probably the animal dealer here. And what's the last image? Looks like a field with, probably the new crop spinach. That they'll talk about later. Alrighty. Let's do the other map. They announced this one a bit later. Yeah, the Bhutan Pantai, the East Asian map. So this is going to be the other map that the game's going to ship with. Probably also along with Zielonka, because usually they ship with the premium expansion from the previous game. At least that's how it was. We had Erlengrot as well in FS25. I mean, that's been the case as far back as I can remember. So they did a reveal at the Tokyo Game Show, which leads me to believe that this probably is a Japanese map. Even though the name Bhutan Pantai is actually more of like a Singapore name. But yeah, the fact we got cherry blossom trees and stuff, it seems like the overall location is Japan. And we got all the cool neon signs like we're in like Tokyo or something. So yeah, very interesting. So yeah, this is until we're ready for a full-blown tour through Bhutan Pantai and our upcoming map preview. Enjoy a selection of first impressions below. There's more to show and tell, but there are still some buildings to be polished with a fresh coat of paint, roads to be swept, and cherry blossoms to be planted. But yeah, like, there you go. Very cool. Look at the big... Oh yeah, look at that. That's overhead catenary. I wonder if it's a Shinkansen line. If that's a Shinkansen line, that confirms Japan. And also, yeah, this is just very Japanese architecture here. Like, it feels like it's like Japan. But that's cool. And then they got the rice harvest there. No, I just want to go back to this image. The Shinkansen line up there. If we see Shinkansens, like, zooming past on that line, that's gonna be awesome. Yeah, and then... No, it's definitely Japan. Definitely Japan. Very cool. Port there. Bit of the seaside area. And then you got this windy road that goes up the mountain here. So have they released more on this yet? I don't think they have. Okay, so I think this is all we know about this for right now. They're probably gonna save this right until the game releases. Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna get like a whole dump of stuff by like the end of this week, by the end of this month. So I wouldn't be surprised if they announce a bit more about this Bhutan Pantai map then. But for now, really great stuff. Anyways, let's hop back to here. So this was, okay, this is Riverbend Springs. Let's go ahead and look at the crops. So we have spinach, full of nutrients, presumably of ancient Persian origin, the subject of a culinary myth for its actually not so high iron content, and Popeye's favorite, spinach. I wonder if they got that from the food theory episode, debunking that. But yeah, it's also coming to Farming Simulator 25. Let's take a look at the leafy green crop, as it does offer some unique things to keep in mind. So spring and summer are spinach seasons. In March or April, you take your seeder and put out about 10 liters of seed per hectare to look forward to a yield of about 23,000 liters in return. With an average selling price of $660 per 1,000 liters, You need to be ready to harvest in June. Mind, you need a specialized harvester. The Oxbow MKB 4TR. So there we go, there's the planting. Looks like it's just planted with any regular planter. And then we have our special harvester here. There it is, the MKB 4TR. So yeah, it's got like a typical combine head, but it's got this like thing on the front as well. So it'd be interesting to see how this works. Yeah, is that like yeah, the thing at the front, I really, so what is this? It seems like it's just operating like a normal harvester. Like it's chopping it up, it's putting it, it's spitting it in the back. I guess like it seems like that's what it's doing. Yeah, interested to see what this front bit is for. Maybe it's for making sure, because again, the problem with this is that it's not a dry crop. It's going to have some moisture in it. So maybe this is something to help dry it out a little bit before it goes in, because it could maybe get gummed up. I'm not sure. But yeah, sow once, harvest twice. If you're not wasting any time, you can actually harvest spinach twice a season. To do that, you gotta sow it right in March, wait for it to mature, harvest it right away in June, and watch it grow again. Don't forget to apply your usual yield improvement like you do with other crops. So yeah, it's sort of like grass in that way. You get multiple harvests out of it. Only 2, but compared to like, you know, you get 3 per grass per season, and then grass you don't have to replant. After winter you probably gotta replant this. But yeah, no, very cool. Doing everything right and in time, you'll see those growth stages slightly differ in the second cycle. As it is common among crops like spinach, the first growth stage, after harvesting it the first time, appears more bushy. Helps to easier track all your spinach fields. Okay, so I guess this is like first harvest, and then bushier. Yeah, here, actually, if we go to this image, this probably provides a good example. Yeah, so see, blow this up. Alrighty, April, plant it like that, and then May, it grows, June, ready to harvest, and then you get down to like this, and then it will start growing back again in July. A lot fuller, a lot bushier, and then in August and September, where you can harvest it again before it withers. I better not see any withered spinach. Freaking farmers withering their crops. Very, very interesting. But yeah, here we go. We're just going through all the stages again. So yeah. So yeah, really you just notice it in the first stage. And these 2 probably look the same. I mean, I don't know. This might be a little bit bushier than this. But again, it's hard to tell. They seem fully filled out. But yeah, very cool. But it doesn't stop there. We also have peas. So peas are a symbol of their season, as they are among the first crops you can plant in spring. That's why they represent renewal and growth in some cultures. Also representing renewal and growth from Simulator 25. So why not combine both? Here's a secret for you. Peas are coming. Pea time. In March or April, you take your seeder and put about 250 liters of seed per hectare to look forward to a yield about 9,600 liters in return. With an average selling price of $3,119 per 1,000 liters, you need to be ready to harvest in July and September at the latest. So again, let's pull this graphic up. So yeah, it just seems like a typical crop, but it does have a varying harvest, as we'll see in a second. But yeah, there you go. Planting it like anything else. That actually looks like a regular sowing machine. Like that doesn't look like necessarily a planter, but maybe it is a planter. I mean, maybe not. Maybe it is just a regular, like, thing you plant with wheat. Yeah, it says cedar. So, unlike the spinach, which I'm pretty sure said planter. And that says cedar, but this looks more like a planter. I know I'm getting, like, very thing here, but yeah, this looks more like a cedar. So, I don't know. Because cedars can direct drill, planters cannot. So, you know, there's a difference there in, like, you know. Planters, that's your wheat, barley, canola, soybean. And then a planter is your corn, sunflower, sugar beet. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was actually a cedar, because, you know, peas and soybeans, they're relatively similar. But you do use a specialized harvester for this one, because yeah, you're still harvesting it when it's green. So just like the spinach, it's a green harvestable, which is cool. We don't really have anything in the game that you harvest when it's green. Most things in the game you harvest once they start to, you know, brown. This, like, we're still harvesting it, like, while it's green. It's interesting that. That's interesting. The only crop that's like that is, like, if you forage harvest corn, which I don't really consider that, because you could also do that when it's harvested, or when it's ready to harvest. But yeah, that thing. So it looks more like a, I don't know, I can't really see in that front thing, but it's probably similar to, like, a mower setup, if I were to guess. Probably. Either way, very interesting. It takes the peas and fills up a big old trailer. And of course, you can not only sell the peas directly, but deliver them to select factories to start a production chain. Stay tuned for more information on the productions in the future. See, we haven't really heard anything about new production chains, but I'm sure that'll come in the coming days. So anyway, see how the peas in your field look. Well, there, if it looks like the last one, it's game over for the season and your peas have withered. Yeah, sucks for that to happen. There you go, little pea sprouts. Bit bushier, bit bushier. Yeah, and that's ready to harvest right there. And then when you harvest it, you get a little pea stubble, and obviously don't let it do that. Up next, green beans. Green beans are delicious and nutritious. The pods, the seeds, everything is edible, if prepared correctly. Steamed, boiled, fried, baked, roasted, you name it, throw them in a soup, roll them up in bacon, or add them to your favorite fried rice. Green beans. So these seem to be similar to the peas. They got growth stages, ready to harvest. The harvested looks relatively similar to the peas, just like the green stubble there. So yeah, it just seems like a second alternative to that. So between April and June, it's green bean seeding time. 280 liters of seed per hectare when spilling the beans on the field, and then 13,000, almost 14,000 liters in return. Bid on economic price, the average selling price is $21.60 per 1,000 liters, and it seems like the best price is actually in August and November. And of course, we also have production chains. Summer draws to a close and fall begins, your green beans will be ready to harvest. Using a specialized harvester by Oxbow once again. So another Oxbow machine. Looks very similar to the spinach harvester. Or not spinach, but the pea harvester. But I'm guessing it is slightly different in ways. But yeah, all these specialized harvesters is really interesting. Makes it probably a little bit hard to like specialize in doing these crops. You have to like lease these machines every time. But yeah, I guess it'll be fun. Got lots of images, lots of angles. But yeah, just the overall internals of it seem very similar. I mean, if we just go back to the P one, like, they're different. This has got, like, this has got, like, an up-curved bottom. This has got, like, a regular thing. This has got wheels. That's got tracks. There's a couple differences there. And the whole thing tips out like that. Versus this one, which I'm pretty sure just had a pipe. Yeah, just a pipe. So, lots of different harvesters for lots of different green crops. So I guess there you go. Lots of different green crops. To identify which state your green beans are in, you can take a look in the overview menu or learn how to visually check them out. You know, like a real farmer. There we go. There's just planted or just sprouting. Sprouting a bit more. Almost ready to harvest. Ready to harvest. And oh no, you fricked up and missed your harvest window. Well done. And they also did a lot of these in 25-second videos, which are kind of interesting. Not in YouTube short format, but yeah. They did a lot of those. You know, 25 seconds, FS25. Very neat. Anyways, do we have any more crops? Oh yeah, the rice! Alrighty, let's talk about the rice. So, a new crop, rice and long grain rice. Here's the thing about rice in Farming Simulator. Not all rice is the same. There are two different types. Long grain and what we just call rice. How about we take a closer look at the differences between them? So here is rice. Growth states and facts. I'm going to move this around so you guys can take a look at the rice. And then we have long grain rice. Actually, it'd probably be easier if I just crop that in. Sorry, editor. I'm making a lot of work for you, aren't I? By moving this thing around. I know he hates it when I do that. But yeah, rice and long grain rice need different water levels, machines to sow and harvest, and seeds. Of course, long grain rice isn't sown in water, like the other one. Instead, the rice paddy for long grain rice gets flooded after, not before. But let's start at the beginning. Both types of rice are planted or sown in fields, also called rice paddies. That's a special type of field, deepened to allow for water retention. That's why you require open space on your land. Via the build menu, you can start the creation process. Instead of just placing down a field, you can shape it in any size or form. Rice greenhouses. This one is optional. You can buy saplings at the dealership or build a special greenhouse dedicated to cultivating rice saplings. If your agriculture ambitions rely on increased rice production, you should look at growing them yourself. Here's the equipment you need to plant and harvest rice. You need a tractor, a cultivator, a specialized rice planter, as well as a harvester, and a trailer. Some lime should also be used in storage, but for the end of the whole process. Rice fields are pre-limed when you build them, which is why you don't need to apply it in the beginning. So I'm guessing you use lime because the acidity probably goes all out of whack, if I were to guess. But yeah, you're planting the rice in the water, and then after all the water dries up, you harvest it. Activate the water pump to flood the field, then plant the saplings. Since the rice planter will take care of fertilization, you don't need an additional fertilizer spreader like with other crops. The pump will automatically provide the correct amount of water. Just check your water pump daily to maintain the proper level, or your seedlings will use yield. All the water will be soaked up by the thirsty plants by the end of the growth cycle. So yeah, that's why it's gone. These use a lot of water. When rice is mature, harvest it and decide whether to sell it, store it, or process it into products. To grow another batch of rice, apply lime to the field and cultivate the paddy after harvesting. Lime is only needed after a few harvests. Check the field to see if it is needed. So I guess it's like a regular field. You lime it after a couple times. It'd be interesting to know what kind of crop rotations you do with things. Like, if you grow rice in like a rice paddy, do you then decide, we're going to grow wheat this time? Like how does that rotate? Or do you just do rice and then rice and then rice and then rice and then rice? Is there any rotation? Or is it just all rice? I want to know, but I don't think they'll tell me. That's something I'll have to look up. Anyway, sowing and harvesting long grain rice. With long grain rice, you don't need any water to sow your plant just yet. Long grain rice is sown dry. Just fill your seeder with seeds and start sowing one row after another until the whole paddy is covered. So yeah, normal seeder. Okay, there we go. Manage rice field. This is the menu to flood it, looks like. After that, you flood the rice field and need to maintain different water levels at different growth stages. Don't worry, the pump will only allow just the right amount of water. Check your water pump daily to maintain the proper level. If you don't, you will lose some of your rice saplings. Pumping the water into the field. Look at that. Thirsty rice wants all that water. Anyway, once the plant is ready to harvest and has consumed all the fresh, yummy water, just head over to your harvester and hop in. Your standard combine with a grain header will do the job. Sell it, store it, or, do things. Alright, here's the growth stages of regular rice. So, saplings in a bit of a muddy soup, and then very green and bushy, and getting a little bit more yellow, and then, I'm guessing that's the point when you harvest them right there. Yeah, and that's harvested, and that's if you fricked up. Don't frick up your rice. Right, there you go. Sowed in, the long grain. Slight differences, especially during the end there. Alrighty, and then, let's see, I think now we get on to, make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, okay, let's go ahead and do the animals. So far we know of 2 new animals, which are the water buffalo and the goats. So, do you like hooved ruminant mammals? Nice. We add water buffaloes to the ensemble of farm animals. You've already seen them in the trailers and screenshot, but let's take a look at one of the new animal types for Farming Simulator 25. Why water buffaloes are awesome. Strong but low maintenance. Oh, look at the guy. Girl, sorry. You can tell because the udders. Yep. So, water buffaloes adapt to harsher environments. Hot and humid? No problem. That's why they feel at home in Southeast Asia, for example. Ideal creatures to keep on our new Asian map. In many cultures, they're also significant symbols for prosperity. They're high-performance lawnmowers. Grass-eating animals? Not that special. Unbelievable, but true. In Farming Simulator 25, your fields of grass will be cut by grazing livestock. Not just the water buffaloes. Oh, that's cool. So even the cows will, cause the grass to go down. I wonder if that'll be a reason to, move cows between different fields. Because that's something they do in real life. You have, multiple fields, and you let the cows graze in one, and then you move them to another one. I wonder if that'll be something we could do in this game. They're valuable milk producers. Water buffalo milk is especially rich in fat, protein, and minerals, making it ideal for producing dairy products, which you can do. They're social, gentle, and smart. Despite their size and strength, water buffaloes are generally gentle and social animals. They form strong bonds with their herd and handlers, and often show a calm, docile temperament. New products and productions. Make some mozzarella. Nice. And buffalo milk. Water buffaloes are mainly used to produce milk. You can, of course, also keep them for breeding and selling for a profit when dairy production is either not your thing. But as buffalo milk and mozzarella are in high demand, you might want to go for it and deliver the fresh milk to new production sites for processing. Baby buffaloes! By the age of 18 months, water buffaloes are matured. That's when they start producing milk and offspring. They also start reproducing, and tiny baby buffaloes will soon appear in your patchers. Look how cute they are. So yeah, along with baby buffaloes, we also have baby cows, baby pigs, sheep. All the animals now have baby forms, which is adorable. Look at them. They're so cute. Little babies. Yeah, so now it's when you get new cows, you'll see baby cows in your field and stuff. So that's really cool. And it says when you buy them from a local animal farmer, you can either get some fresh and cute babies or big full-grown ones. Babies are cheaper, but then you gotta wait. So anyways, bonus from behind the scenes. So, walk us through your creative process when designing the new animal. So the process begins with creating a comprehensive reference list from real-life animals to study their anatomy, behavior, and movement patterns in detail. Once this research phase is complete, we move on to crafting high poly models using sculpting software. So yeah, the whole modeling step of the process. A lot of stuff goes into game dev. The next step involves preparing a low poly model with accurate topology, making it ready for the texturing phase. In Substance Painter, we bake the intricate details from the high poly model onto the low poly version and began painting textures. At this stage, the model is complete, but the next phase involves bringing it to life through animation. So yeah, you got the model, and you got totally not horrifying bits and pieces of the model here. Yeah, and then you gotta add animation. So before we begin modeling, it's important to find a good reference and have a good understanding. Yeah. So yeah, do a lot of research, figure out what it looks like, figure out what you want to do. And they do multiple iterations, checking at each stage to ensure accuracy. They carefully study every aspect, from bone structure and muscle alignment, and even the tiniest details, like pores on the nose. So animation is a challenging process because it involves bringing a static model to life. The real test is making sure the animal's character shines through in the animation, allowing the viewers to feel its personality and natural movements. How do you ensure the animal interacts correctly with other game elements, such as the environment or other animals? The game feed is a system developed to ensure animals interact correctly by keeping them within a defined space where they are aware of each other's positions. What is an aspect that you are particularly proud of? I'm particularly proud of the final integration of animals into the game. It's incredibly rewarding to see them evolve from initial concept to living creatures with their own unique personalities. So there you go. That's pretty cool. And then yeah, you got the thing so they can recognize each other. Now, I don't know if this means that they will recognize vehicles and trailers, because I know there's an issue in FS25 at least, where animals will just walk through your tractor. But I feel like it's very rare you see a cow walk through another cow. It's mainly walking through your vehicles, which might be a bit harder for the game to predict. But I would at least like it, you know, if they would stay away from my tractor, and so, you know. No, still very cool. I mean, yeah, pretty similar to cows, in a way, just, you know, the Asian version for the Asian map. Anyways, next up we have goats. With Farming Simulator 22, we created some buzz for bringing you bees to improve yield through advantages of good old pollinating. For Farming Simulator 25, we really went back to the drawing board in front of the animal pen. Which animals were missing? Worms? Bears? Dragons? Sadly, those didn't make the cut. Neither did pink river dolphins, echidnas, and leprechauns. But we went through your as well as our own wish list and instantly thought, okay, we goat this. Giant software, let's take the chance by its horns and create something goatily awesome. Yeah, they made the water buffaloes. But let's not bleat around the bush. You know about the water buffalo, right? Check out the preview. In addition to this mighty animal of Southeast Asia, we wanted to give livestock owners another option to choose from. We got your back, farmers. Goat. You want to get goats right, and the most complex thing are their legs and their rectangular pupil. First, we almost created a dahu by accident, a mythical creature. You can learn more about it from Katie, right? You don't know who she is, do you? You'll find out soon enough. One wrong slider and shorter legs on one side, and you have a fantastical beast. Once the legs were up to snuff, we banished the dahu back to its folkloric existence, or did we? We had a squad of 2D and 3D audits working non-stop on the pupils. Also, these beautiful animals could do what they do best. Stare. Ah, silly goats. Silly goats. What you doing, you silly goat? Alrighty, then our artists and programmers built other parts of an anatomically correct goat in different stages, from newborn to adult, so you can enjoy one of the most anticipated farm animals. Before we show you the mini goats, here are some real facts about goat. We got a goat gif. We got a goat gif. I love goat gifs. But yeah, goats are incredible climbers. They're known for their agility and even scaling steep cliffs. If you think you're good at bouldering, look at goats. The rectangular pupils give them nearly a 360-degree panoramic vision, helping them spot predators and navigate challenging terrain. They're curious and intelligent. They can learn how to open gates or manipulate objects. Good to have an eye on them. Goats are highly social and form close bonds with their herds or even humans and other animals. Each goat has a unique voice. Just look at all those screaming goat videos. So not only mother goats could recognize individual goats by their bleat. Best goats, baby goats. Baby goats. They're so crazy and energetic. Look at that one in the background. Best cheese, goat cheese. So goat milk is not everyone's cup of milk, but those who like it, love it. It's distinct, slightly tangy. Flavor is not as sweet and mild as your regular milk from a cow, but that's why it's so unique in taste and profitable in production. So yeah, you got goat milk, goat cheese. So while keeping goats for the sake of it is awesome, new productions allow you to process their milk and go for fine goat cheese. It's worth it, you goat to believe it. Want to try goat cheese for real? Try it with fruits, nuts, honey, and herbs like thyme, rosemary, and basil. You can put it in almost every dish just like regular cheese, from salad and stuffed in peppers to pasta and pizza. Alrighty, and then we have another interview. What inspired the decision to add goats? Goats have been a popular request from our players, especially in certain regions where they play an important role in animal husbandry. They also work well with our production chains and new products that players can craft, making them more interesting for everyone. What unique behavior will goats exhibit compared to other livestock? You will notice many new animations from our character animation team, who have done a great job bringing the animals to life. As goats are particularly lively, and looking at our animation system, we thought Farming Simulator 25 would be incomplete without them. Especially the kids jumping around like you would expect. How did you research real goat behavior? One of the benefits of having a lot of people working on Farming Simulator who already had a lot of experiences with real-life farming makes it easier to bring those elements into the game. There's already an underlying sense of what's authentic, and that includes animals like goats. But to really bring the virtual component or parts to life, we also look at a lot of goat videos in various environments, discuss their behavior, and in the end, artists, animators, and programmers all had to be in sync. What challenges did you face? Goats are active, excited, and playful, so the challenging part here was, of course, make their movements look realistic and animate them properly. I think their team did a good job. And the goats we have here add to the liveliness of your farm. Why do you think goats are impressive farm animals? Goats in particular like to let you know that they have distinct personalities. As I said before, they are playful because they are also incredibly curious and intelligent. Always exploring their surroundings, they can be quite challenging livestock to keep. But they make up for it in providing valuable resources like milk, and they're known for their hardiness in different environments. Thank you for reading this preview, Goat Day. Alrighty, so I think that's all the animals. So yeah, water buffalo, goats. We've also covered the crops. So spinach, peas, and green beans. And then also the two maps, Riverbend Springs and Hutan Pantai. Now, we get on to some more of the fun stuff. Weather events. Twisters and hail with a chance of fog. In Riverbend Springs and multiple other locations around the world, the weather is predicted to change more often. As we look at darkening clouds in the sky, listening to the wind, the farmers closing in, one can notice clear signs that some weather is on the way. So we got some rain, we got some hail, we got a bit of a foggy morning, and another foggy morning. On August summer night, local farmers and residents are encouraged to take general precautions. But first, learn more in the following weather report, and don't forget to pre-order Farming Simulator 25 coming November 12th! A twister is in the air. Farmers feel it everywhere. On a glory night, where the children of tomorrow dream away, farmers might notice the winds changing. We're expecting a light twister to touch down in a few areas. It shouldn't be anything too severe, but it's always wise to take precautions and secure any unroofed bales, just in case. Yeah, we got twisters. We got twisters and tornado, just twisters. I don't think we don't have, tornadoes that can actually, damage things. Just, some twisters that might throw some things around, tear limbs off trees. Hail is coming down, bales are closing in. Some hail is also predicted to hit. The good news is, after these brief disturbances, the skies will clear up and we'll see the sun shining brightly once again. This weather event will pass, and we'll be back to calm, sunny conditions before you know. Oh, look at that. The white combine. I don't know if this is showing that, the hail's tearing up the crop, but this is what happens in real life. The hail will knock the heads off the crop, and once they're on the ground, you can't harvest them. So, yeah, if you get some hail coming in before you can harvest your crops, that's a bad time. So, yeah, I don't know if this image is showing that, because we do see some damaged crops here. There's crops missing here. I don't know if that's just because of that, or if the hail's actually going to damage it. Anyway, this says, watch the crops, the trees, and the bales. Once the storm passes, local farmers are advised to inspect their fields for any destruction and assess the impact of their crops. While Twister fans may observe the weather spectacle from a safe distance, farmers cannot afford to be careless, as all weather events bear the potential to destroy a portion of crops. Look, there we go. So at least the Twister can destroy your crops. So if you get a Twister coming through your field, that's going to hurt yield. In Riverbend Springs, we caught up with newfound farmer David. When all the other farmers were running around doing stuff to repair, I did not think very much of it. I'm pretty new to all this, Having learned his lesson, the former white-collar worker lost about half of his crops on a rather tiny plot and all his bales left out in the open. Even my shed got damaged, he added, looking rather sad while proclaiming that Mother Nature added insult to injury relative to way bigger field sizes. Other farmers got off lightly in comparison. Meanwhile, the local lumberjack and forester of Ribbon Springs was not available for comment while tending to dead trees that were affected by the storm. Some of us carry out essential duties. I must insist you grant me solitude while I tend to my fallen companions, he said in a grumpy tone before adding, I observed your cameraman indulging in refreshments. I strongly suggest you refrain from littering in the forest as you depart. Watch the sunrise for peace of mind. Instead, we got a hold of retired farmer Walter, who shared his perspective on the recent weather changes. Good weather always follows bad weather sooner or later, he says, the 70-year-old farmer reflecting on the shifting conditions. Don't know where all that thick fog suddenly comes from, though. Probably brought in with the wind of change. When asked if he had any more farming wisdom to impart about the weather, Walter had a classic reply. Let's take a rain check. We'll be revisiting Ribbon Springs in November to see how the weather has impacted the local farming community. Maybe you want to visit yourself and ask the locals some questions. So yeah, looks like we have natural disasters and weather events that will, affect how you farm. Hail might take out some of your wheat. Twister might tear up your field of, it looks like this might be like one of the new, like spinach. Yeah, it looks like spinach. So yeah, watch out. Better watch out. Weather don't mess around. Anyways, we have one more thing to talk about here. Constructions and town projects. Farmers who are particularly dedicated and involved in their town's community will find a wealth of new building opportunities in Farming Simulator 25. Whether you just want to start a profitable side business or want to make a lasting mark on the region, let's take a look at some new construction projects. Oh, look at this. Make nice things. In addition to production chains where you produce bread or cakes in the factory, flour in the grain mill, or canned goods in the soup factory, there are some very special repeatable construction. Do you remember the piano maker in Zielonka? Not only will the artisan workshop for finely crafted pianos make a comeback and open branches outside of its hometown, but there are other businesses waiting for your involvement. Again, it seems like they always kind of tease stuff like this. Like, in FS19, we had Erlengrot, and they teased, like, they had the dairy. You could sell milk, and, oh, you're making chocolate, you're making cheese, but you couldn't actually do that. And then they add it in the next game. They're like, now you can actually make chocolate and make cheese. Now this is like, oh, look, you're making pianos. But you weren't actually making pianos, you were just selling wood there. Now you're actually making pianos. Which, yeah, I like this. This is kind of a cool little tease for what's happening. Anyways, historic wagon builder. Established in Ribbon Springs in 1904, Silvershaft Wagons still produces some very fancy horse-drawn carriages. Requiring wooden boards as well as fabrics and rope to build, the final product is a love letter to craftsmanship and profitable for you. So yeah, we saw that wagon in the thing. I mean, I don't know, this seems kind of similar to maybe how Silver Run Forest had it, where we built the boat. I'm honestly thinking it might be similar to that. But we'll obviously have a lot more of it. So, you know, like how we had on Silver Run Forest, we had the boat, we had the roller coaster. It seems like it's going to be similar to that, maybe. A playground maker. What's a town without a playground, and a playground without toys? Think of the kids. Then help construct some wooden toy tractors for the local playground. I need some water, my throat's drying up. There you go, I got some slides, some bits and pieces for a playground. And it's a really cute wood tractor. Make monuments. Riverbend Springs and Huton Pantai feature even bigger construction projects. Let's call them community projects. Big plans of the respective town to build something monumental. Okay, so that's what we were seeing earlier with the big old mast and stuff. That was like a playground project. And yeah, it looks like there is some boats related to it. Yeah, so emotionally prepare yourself to deliver a whole range of resources over multiple stages until this one is finished. So yeah, again, I'm comparing it to, like, we had the boats and the roller coaster in Silver Run Forest. It seems like that, which is cool. I'm always down for more stuff like this. Again, it adds an end game, which is cool. That's what I like about Silver Run. It's like, okay, I know once the roller coaster is done, the series is done, and it adds an end game, which is good, which is fun. But yeah, it doesn't seem like really anything new, is what I'm trying to say. In Huton Pantai, we got the temple grounds. Okay. Ah, I see. So like you build up the temples over time. That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, a nice place to walk around and Look at the very high-resolution moon. By the way, there's some collectibles to be found all around the region. They will be displayed in the temples as soon as they are built. We call them crop orbs because they're orbs with crops inside. Okay, so yeah, the collectibles for this region will go in the temple that you build. That's pretty cool. The Grain Elevator Museum. Since Riverbend Springs used to be a place full of good old wooden grain elevators, there's even one left. Unfortunately, it's in pretty rough shape because it hasn't been used in a long time. As historic as the grain elevator itself, there are various objects of agricultural significance tucked away in Riverbend Springs. How did they get there? Well, there's a history to it. Maybe Walter can clear it up if you decide to talk to him and he happens to bring it up. All of this old stuff belongs in a museum. Guess what? The old elevator, when renovated, will become a museum for these interesting remnants. Okay, so this is the collectibles for Riverbend Springs. The old components and stuff. That's cool. So like collect the old stuff, put it in the elevator. Build your house too. Oh, okay, this is cool. If you're looking for a new home, build one. There are some new additional farmhouses and barns available, but you cannot just buy them and place them. You have to supply the resources first. Okay, that's adding a bit of stuff to the building aspect of things. I like it. I like it. You want to go in? Go ahead. When the construction site is cleaned up, you can enter your new home. Maybe your multiplayer friends will want to check it out when you are brainstorming the next step on the fields for the day. It's cool, and they got full interiors. So yeah, it's just taking the concept that we had in Silver Run Forest and adding on it. I actually don't know if I'll have to check it on... Next time I play Zielonka, I'll have to check it. But that piano manufacturer, I don't know if it's actually... If it's similar to the thing we had on Zielonka, where you actually get to see the thing get built. Not Silver Run. Yeah, that's interesting. I bet it probably is. And this is just an expansion of that. So yeah, there we go. Wow. Although you can do a silo house. That's cute. So they got lots of options. Oh yeah, grains. I love the grain silo house. That's what I would want to live in. Anyways, coming soon on the blog, maybe production shames or GPS or ground deformation. We'll see. Wow, they just teased a lot of cool stuff there. But anyways, I think that's gonna do it. My throat is dead from all this talking, but hopefully that gives you a better idea. I would go over all the fact sheets, but I feel like you guys can just go find those and look through those yourself. Because again, my throat, I can't talk really. My voice is going. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like. Subscribe for new videos. Have a great rest of your day. I literally can't wait for this game to come out. As with all the new farming simulators, it's just gonna be a great time. Giants can do no wrong in my eyes. So anyways, I'll see you guys then. Goodbye for now.